Hey, so I'm back. Gothian Vitki Colby Harky here, and just wanted to share another UPG, kind of tying back into my last video that I shared about Anzus and breaking free, and this idea of how we can be free and take the symbology from our faith even one step more. This one actually comes from a chat with my friend Jacob, and we got talking about Ragnarok, the events of Ragnarok, the idea of a personal one versus the global, universal, the nine realm one, whichever phrasing you personally would like to use. And it's something I never considered. And looking back on my own life, I can see how it makes sense. Kind of the back history of this is we got talking about time in general. Some people view time differently. In my experience in trance and in the esoteric realms, I don't see time as being a construct like we think of it here on Midgard. That it's so much broader yet so much simpler. Personally, I view it that time is just a concept here on Midgard. That in the spiritual realms, time doesn't exist. However, Jacob was talking about his viewpoints on it, and I can see this, and I agree that time moves differently in those realms. Example being 5 minutes for us could be 5 months or an hour or something longer for the gods and all the spirits. So considering this and considering Ragnarok, most of us know some of the key signs of Ragnarok. 3 years of endless winter, a solar and lunar eclipse when Hati and Skull catch Sol and Mani. So how can this be applied to your life and the idea of a personal Ragnarok? So what he threw to me when we were talking about the 3 years of endless winter is maybe that's what depression was for me when I struggled it. Now, I struggled with depression for 12 years, but considering that time moves different, maybe that was symbolic of the three years of endless winter for me, because depression was terrible. It was some of the worst times of my life. I struggled with so much, and I honestly, most of the time, I felt cold and empty inside. So I could see how that would make sense. So think about your own life, where you're at, or where you're going, your path. Have you, or are you going to experience a type of 3 years of endless winter, your own signs of Ragnarok? I know this is kind of going to be a more unpopular, probably, opinion on the solar and lunar eclipse when Hati and Skull catch their prey, but it's still something to consider, I think, in my opinion. Knowing that lunar eclipses obviously, of course, happen at night when it's dark, but the moon doesn't fully disappear like it does in a solar eclipse. If you're able to see it, depending on where you're at, it may actually get truly physically dark as night. It may not. But let's go with the whole let's go back to the lunar eclipse for a moment. Yes, it's dark, but there's still some guiding light to a degree. So is there a time in your life when things seemed really dark, but you still had a little bit of light, something still kind of guiding your way? Was it connection to the gods? Was it your own UPG you experienced? Was it an awareness that you came from, or that you came into? Was it something that just helped push you past that breaking point and realizing that you can be so much more and that you have so much more to offer? For me, that was when I learned about Reiki, and that's what brought me out of from basically being atheist to where I am now, and wanting to learn and dive deeper into spiritual practices and spiritual beliefs and find my own way. Going with the eclipse, the solar eclipse, and when Sol is caught, or Suna, if it's that dark, to me that could have been symbolic of my life as the time when I was basically atheist and I gave up on everything. I didn't care about anything. Or those times when I contemplated suicide. Yet here I am today. So taking those three signs into consideration to my life, my story of being raised Lutheran to becoming essentially atheist to where I am now, I could see how symbolically those signs of Ragnarok could be applied to my life. So that's what I'm offering for you today, is something to consider. Of course, I'm not saying that this is the full truth or anything like that. Just, I found it a very, very interesting concept and something that I really feel many, if not all of us, could learn to apply some way in their life. So what was your Ragnarok? What trials have you come? What trials have you overcome? What's yet to come? What's your guiding light? What's your birth and renewal? What is your death and rebirth? How did you come to be here? Just consider that for your life. See if it resonates with you, and hopefully it can help you help give you a little bit better understanding of things that happened in your life and where it led you to where you are today. So I hope this video really helps, and I'll talk to you all later.